Hey everybody, Ben here. So in the very beginning, I'm feeling got a release of some type, a big sigh, a bit exhausted, but it's like I can catch my breath now. Sounds good. It's always good to let go of something. I'll connect and we'll see what comes through. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing it for yourself each and every day. And if this doesn't resonate with you, don't make it fit. I'm back to the church bells. Almost reminds me of a kid getting out of church. I had to go to church when I was a kid, and it was such a relief that it was over. It's like finally we can play now. We can do what we want. We don't have to be forced to do this or go here or experience this. Yeah, it's like a playful time. It is I can relax, I can do what I want to do, or I can sit here and just relax. That's what it feels like. No no what's it called? Obligations. Feels really nice. Really does. So, like I was saying, if you were ever forced to do something like, for me as a child, going to church was like a punishment, and it was torture throughout it. Just it was like you knew when it was going to be over through how it panned out, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then it's finally over, and it's like woohoo! It's over. Not sure if that's how something in your situation was that uh, you were forced to do something or even out of obligation and it's over. It's also kind of given like you put in your 2 weeks at a job and you're just counting down those 2 weeks, and then you're kind of like, I don't know why I did this. I try to be respectful, but heck, if they wanted to fire you, they'd just can you right there on the spot. They don't give you a notice. Five of Wands reversed. Resolution. What is this resolution? I'm gonna have to pull more on this. A resolution to something. Maybe you made a decision. Put yourself first. Not do things out of obligation. Or to be done with something. A cycle. Got two cards here. Seven of Swords reversed. Consequences. Six of Swords reversed. Hesitance. Should I do this? Should I not do this? What are the consequences going to be? Looking at the job aspect, but also like families coming through of if I do this, uh, or anything that's toxic or not fulfilling us or dragging us down or sending us backwards, and we're doing it out of this obligation, maybe respect or obligation that was instilled in us that we should do this. Excuse me. And we're looking at it and it's like, man, I'm really getting shafted here, taken advantage of, or excuse me, just on an energetic aspect of a lot of energy taking, and you are giving, and it's really draining you. I'm hesitant to make this decision, or maybe I finally have, because I'm worried about the consequences. How is somebody going to look at me? The real tough thing in life that I've figured out is our story or our experience is hardly ever seen or validated in our choices or with other people, because you may be in a place where you can see both sides, but the other person can't see anything beyond their side, and they'll always be the victim, if you will, or the one that got done over. Never take responsibility for their own actions, because we could look at it in like a negative sense, but there's a turn to that coin that they just can't see it. And I'm not va- uh, saying what their behavior was or is okay. It's just they can't see it. It's the damnedest thing. And again, I'm not saying it's okay that they are the way they are, but coming to this place of neutrality, if that's a word, uh, to be able to see that all puts a lot of peace inside of you. To be able like, okay, they're working out of a wound still, you know, even the nastiest person out there, getting to a place to be able to see that. I'm not saying what's done is okay, but understanding it and understanding duality, and that these certain people or these situations are placed in our experience to propel us forward, to get us to see us, who we truly are, what we deserve, how we deserve to be treated, and how to treat ourselves by ourselves, you know, at the same token. Getting to that place is a really a peaceful place. But going back to the initial comment of, it's we're gonna have to let go of or be okay with people not understanding, because one, they don't want to, or they can't, and that sucks. But we have to stand in our sovereignty, our power, our own energy, and be okay with that. And we have to know ourselves to be able to walk. Otherwise, we'll still be stuck in that cycle or that situation, seeking some sort of validation that's not going to come or can't be seen because they're unable to, or they choose not to. Two of Wands. Oh, the chills. It's beautiful. It feels so nice. New horizons. You know, getting to this place, whether just how I spoke or finally leaving this obligation is like the word that we want to use, or responsibility that isn't ours but was placed on us through, you know, guilt, or a family unit is coming back like, you owe me, uh, because I'm your paternal figure, is what's coming through here. We stick together, we're blood. And when you really look at things on an energetic level, uh, it's a lot different than how a lot of people see it here. We can be put into families that aren't our true bloodlines, and we're there to help them uh, heal their own wounds by behaving in certain ways. This could be bad or good. You know, we could look at someone that is a really bad person in a family unit, but that figure could help propel 5 other people in that family to a place of healing these wounds that maybe they had and they brought in. And again, I'm not saying it's okay, but when we really look at things in a different way, we see everything then, and then it all kind of comes together. Two of Swords. Inner conflict. This could totally create a ton of inner conflict. I get it. It's been there plenty of times with making these decisions, and going off of what I was saying about uh, this this validation of knowing your story is difficult, but that's also coming from a place of wound. If that is your situation, I don't know why I'm drawn to talk on that, but that's a wound that we need that validation, to be heard, to be understood, to validate our reasonings. And that wound is normally created from an instance of uh, never being good enough. I think that's what's coming through. If you're never good enough, uh, someone's always going to have a problem with what you do. Even if you did it the way that they wanted it done, it wouldn't be done right anyway. It's just you're not good enough. And in reality, you are good enough. you're better than good enough. That person's not good enough, and they're projecting that onto another. You know, there was, uh, I made a comment to someone, trying to have a conversation with them, and I said, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. And it was because they were very reserved, which is fine if that's their choice, but don't come into a conversation to have one, but then don't. And they say, wow, you really know how to compliment something, pretty much implying you're an asshole, and uh, you need to learn to talk to people. And this is exactly how this projection thing works. At that time, I would have felt like I was a bad person for saying the truth, seeing something for what it was. That person is projecting their wound or their insecurity onto the other person, saying, you're the problem, not me. And uh, this inner conflict, it will continue because, if you've walked away from whatever this obligation is, they're going to project onto you, you're the problem, you're not loving, you're neglecting, you're selfish, all these things, when they are that, and they were harvesting, taking from you, and you've seen it for what it was, and now you walked away. And that's a hard thing to hear, because it's like, well, that's not me. But this projection, this manipulation, gets to us at a point where you start to believe it. And that's the whole point of projection, is to get you to believe that you are the problem or the wound versus the projector. They're reflecting themselves out onto others rather than taking responsibility for their own behaviors. And it really, we get stuck in those cycles when we are that wound, say we have that wound, and normally we're going to attract people that are that are going to do it, project this onto us. And it's going to make it really difficult to leave, or it's going to make that wound bigger or reinforce it. And that's the whole point. It's supposed to uh, illuminate it in our face to a point where we see it. And when we finally see it, then we heal it, and we remove those people from our experience, and we don't attract them in anymore. Sure, they might be there little here and there just to see, did we really fully heal that wound? But that's just how it is. I shouldn't say that. That's how it works. Is we are that wound. We attract the people that are that wound to reinforce it, and until we see it, we'll keep experiencing it. And it is an inner conflict until we really understand, did I heal this wound? And they're just still the wound projecting onto me. And that's not me anymore. I've seen it for what it was. And I've healed this. And we'll always be tested on it. And sometimes we can't fully heal it. But we can understand, is this mine? Is this theirs? Am I going to, excuse me, respond out of the wound? Or am I going to respond from a higher place? A higher understanding of what's actually taking place here. King of Swords, rational. Making decisions rationally. Getting to that place to really observe our thoughts and our experience. I say it a lot, is this mine? Is this theirs? And we don't have to be very spiritually connected to view it this way. We don't have to have or think we have special gifts or be some guru. This is happening with everyone. And it could be a random person in the streets, just an NPC, just there to aggravate you, random person online, or someone close to us, work, um, romantic relationships, friends, or family. We all have wounds. We do. And the ones that don't think they have them are suppressed and working out of, the pure ego that it doesn't exist. And this is just me, and you're gonna like it. But when we all have them, there's somebody that is that's going to reinforce it inside of us. And we need to get to a place where we see our wounds, And then when things come in to touch that wound, we have a choice. We can heal it, which I'd hope we would work towards that. And if we have, when these things come in, number one, they're not going to touch us if we fully healed it. If we haven't, we can justify, is this right in our mind? Like, is it serving a purpose anymore? If it's serving a purpose, it's still trying to get me to help heal this wound. If it's not serving a purpose, then it's bye, see ya, in one out the other ear. It doesn't matter, it doesn't affect us anymore. But if we haven't fully healed it, and say we remove a bunch of people that were really this wound in our life, you're going to see it pop up in other aspects of your life. Random people, strangers, at work, you could remove everyone, family, friends, romantic relationships, and you're still going to see it in public. It's there to illuminate the wound if we haven't healed it yet. But to be honest, I think we've seen it for what it is because of that relief, and we're on to the new horizons. This obligation, this responsibility, whatever it is, it's over. We don't have to stomach it anymore. We don't have to deal with it. Essence, we were wearing a mask. We can say the bad people wear masks. We all wear them at times, to get through life, and we're just putting up with it, and we don't want to. It's really taking a toll on us. It's not fun, and we finally did it. So congratulations. I hope this resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you need any help, feel free to reach out, and I'll talk to you all later.